Hello Internet and welcome to another episode of Game Strategy. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Pokemon and he goes by the name of Golbat. I'm going to throw his stats up right here on the screen and we're going to take a look at why he's a relatively good Eviolite Pokemon. His stats are going to be 75 HP, 80 attack, 70 defense, 65 special attack, 75 special defense, and 90 speed. We're going to give him Eviolite, which is going to boost his defense and special defense by 1.5 times, which is going to give him 105 defense, and it's going to give him 112.5 special defense, which makes him quite the reliable Pokemon for Eviolite. Next up on the list of things, we're going to come up over here and we're going to show some Pokemon Showdown, which for our first build, I would like to dedicate the title of Tank Buster. So we're going to give him Brave Bird for that 120 base stab flying damage. Going to give him Toxic for that damage over time. Rather reliable, seeing he's poison and a poison flying at that. He's a poison type, so he's going to be able to hit with that Toxic regardless. Give him Roost for that sustain, and give him Super Fang for that tank busting potential. And what makes that so great is that Super Fang halves your opponent's health. So the first hit is always going to be 50. It's going to take 50% off their health. It doesn't matter what they are. So if they're a tank and you're not going to be doing a whole bunch of damage, that's 50% off of their health instantaneously. And how can you go wrong with that? Say someone has a Mega Aggron on the field. You throw that. It's starting to sleep talk you. You Super Fang it. It's at half health and it's asleep. Switch into something that's super effective and just destroy it. And Toxic for anything else that may pose a threat. You Toxic, and then you can Brave Bird and Roost to victory. As for EVs, seeing that you're running a build for defenses, I was looking at kind of a staggered build between defense and special defense and HP. Seeing that you're boosting both defenses, you're getting more of a effective HP from both defense and special defense than if you were to go all in HP. Looking at 152 in defense and 195 in special defense with that impish nature to give the defense a little bit extra boost, and to just kind of round out his defense stats and give him kind of an edge on both physical and special attackers. Moving on to our second setup here, we're going to be running a curse set. So we're going to give him Roost. With this curse, he's going to get extra attack and extra defense. It's going to lower his speed, but we're not worried about going last because he's going to have some amazing defenses, especially after getting some curse off. He's going to have. So we're going to go with that careful nature to give that special defense an even bigger boost. Go 252 in defense, 252 in HP. Gonna put that 4. That 4, I mean, you're getting one point out of it, regardless of where you put it. So it's not a huge boost. You can put that wherever you want it. And then with the defense, you're gonna have Curse making up for any defenses that you don't have. So your Curse is gonna be boosting your defense, and then go with a coverage move, and I'd say Brave Bird for the stab, and it's 120 base power, so you can't go wrong. Yeah, it has 33% recoil, but you've got Roost to cover that. And in terms of coverage, he gets a lot. He's got, I mean, here we've got Zen Headbutt, we got Acrobatics, we have Aerial Ace, we've got moves like Pursuit, Quick Attack for that priority. We got Payback, seeing that you're lowering with Curse, you could go with Payback to get that 100 damage dark, because you're going to be slowing yourself down unless someone's running Trick Room. But I mean, you should better see that coming, and obviously you're not going to be payback if you know you're not going to go last. And he's got some other really powerful moves that you can go into this slot, aside from just some nice coverage from Zen Headbutt for that Psychic. I mean, you can go U-Turn. He's got Giga Impact for that 150 damage, plus the Curse boosts. You won't be able to move on the turn after that, but you should be able to tank that hit, seeing that you're probably one-shot killing them if you've got more than one Curse going. If you're suspecting them for running, say, a Citrus Berry or something like that, you can run a Pluck, which is a nice counter for anything like Belly Drum, Azumarill. You probably won't go first, but if you can predict a switch in on something, you can go ahead and pluck that berry, and then they lose out on a big part of their strategy. Now, what I was also thinking is, instead of running a curse set, you could go back and run your stats like this one, and we'll go with our Brave Bird, and we'll drop the curse, and we'll switch it to a nasty plot. Drop this, give him, say, Heat Wave, and give him, say, something like Air Slash, and put that extra point here, and we're going to want to round out his stats again because he's not getting that boost from Curse, and run a where's it at? Say, run either a Calm or Bold Nature, depending on which stat you want higher. So you can always run Calm or Bold if you want to give that defense a little bit better boost. You can then you have your Heat Wave, which are getting boosted off that nasty plot on turn 1, and then you can always roost you could always roost to damage check, because you're probably going to be going last. So you get hit, you roost, so you're going to going back up to max health or close to max health to kind of damage check to see if you can how many hits you can survive. And then you can, depending on what that is, you can throw off that nasty plot and get that extra special attack if you know you can survive more than 2 hits. And then you're now running with double your special attack, which is currently at 65. You could also boost your special attack. You could run, say, the Modest Nature and boost that special attack a little bit. Which is, if you're going to do that, I'd say maybe if you wanted to, you could sacrifice a little bit off of your special defense and give a little bit more to your special attack to give it, so it's just over 200 starting, so that way your nasty plot is actually boosting you by a little bit more. Every point counts when you're looking at boosting by 2 stages. And you don't have to run Heat Wave. You can run, say, Giga Drain for some extra healing. You can run, I mean, he just has a lot of special coverage. I mean, he has Shadow Ball, you have Sludge Bomb, you have Heat Wave, you can run Twister. He has Air Cutter, which has a higher critical ratio, so if you're running, say, Air Cutter, you can hit them with that higher crit ratio and give them a run for their money if they're boosting stats, because then it's just like they're not boosting stats anymore. You could also run, if you're running Giga Drain and you're expecting some super effective hits off of it, you could always risk it and drop the Roost, because you've got Nasty Plot Giga Drain going, and you could always replace Roost with, say, Haze to eliminate any stat boosts to give yourself a bigger damage potential. And I mean, he's just really well rounded, and you can run him so many ways. He has so many different ways for coverage. He has so many different ways that he can be run, and he can be both a physical attacker or a special attacker. Having access to Nasty Plot and being a good tank, you can get off the nasty plots and be relatively safe from getting hit. Or you could run that curse and then get the extra defense and run him as a physical attacker. And I mean, that's really how you run Golbat. He's a really good tank buster, or you can have him be a really hard tank that can that can tank through and then also dish out a whole bunch of damage once he's got set up with his curse and his nasty plot. So so if they say they're boosting their defenses and you're running this haze, you haze, nasty plot, they've lost their stat boosts, and if they baton pass to them, now they have to switch out and then start their chain over again, or they have to either start boosting again, and you've already got your nasty plot off on the first turn, and if say they had a belly drum to get their 4 times, now they have to either sacrifice more health or switch out to something else, and now you've got a free setup, which just makes him that much better. And if you're really feeling it, something that I was thinking is, if you're not really into running to run that Eviolite, you don't have to. You can always run him with a Lumberry, or you could run him with a Citrus Berry, which, if you're running him with the Citrus Berry, you could, as soon as he drops down to half health, you could run with Thief, which now, depending on what your opponent's holding, if they're running an Eviolite Pokemon, well, now you have your Eviolite. If they're running with anything else, any berries, if they're running with a Citrus Berry, you proc your berry, and then you Thief and steal their berry, and now you get 2 Citrus Berries. Or if they're running with a Life Orb, now that's going to give him a little bit extra attack, so he's going to have this really high physical attack. Obviously, you wouldn't want to run him with his Eevee's max attack, seeing that you're going to want him to survive relatively well, which is why this Lumberry really throws people off, because if people are going to come at you with any status effects, you're going to Lumberry, and then you can steal whatever they're holding. You could also look at running... I mean, there's a lot of things you could look at running on him. Any really good berry, you could run Lumberry. You could go weakness policy to really throw things up to get that attack and special attack. Seeing that if you're going solid defense and special defense, that weakness policy could help you with your setup. So you're running weakness policy, Thief. You proc your weakness policy. You steal their item, and then now you can run him either way. You can run him with the curse set to get the extra, or you could run him with the nasty plot because the weakness policy is boosting both attack and special attack. So either way, you could swing that one either way. So say you're running nasty plot, and then you do say heat wave, and then say you run air cutter for that high crit ratio. And let's drop his HP a little bit, give him a little bit more in special defense, give him the where's that? And if you're running that one, you're going to say a calm nature. And I mean, you've got some decently well-rounded stats. Both of your defenses are over 200, and your HP is over 300. You're going to be proccing off that weakness policy for the so off the weakness policy. If they hit you with something that's super effective, you've got the nasty plot to go on, and then you've got Thief if they hit you with anything that's super effective. Now this is a little bit more, say, living life on the edge, because it's not a guaranteed proc on the weakness policy, but it's a nice thing to run on a lot of Pokemon, on anything that you're wanting to boost up. You could also run, if you're running something that doesn't have if you're running something that doesn't have any buffs, you could say drop the nasty plot and then give him Giga Drain, and you could give him the Assault Vest and just make him a purely special tank. drop out of defense, give him special defense in HP, which now he's just a purely special wall. So now you have a huge special defense. You have the 1.5 times from the assault vest, and you've got max EVs in special defense. So now you have a huge special defense, and you can run. And you're probably not going to run Thief on that because you can't steal anything. So say Air Slash to give for that crit chance, Air Cutter for the stab, high crit, and then a couple coverage moves from his pool of coverage moves, which a grass and a fire type move really rounds out what he can hit super effective. And overall, I mean, that's really how you run Golbat. There are just so many things that you can put on him, and there are so many ways that you can run him, so many different ways for coverage, and you can always run him as a basic tank buster. I'd like to thank everybody who's watching for watching, and if you have any comments, post them in the comment section below. I love reading comments. I haven't gotten a lot so far, but any comment that's posted, if you have anything that you want to say about the video, go ahead and post it down below. If you like the video, go ahead and give the video a like, and if you like the channel, go ahead and give it a subscribe. I plan on posting more content frequently and would like to see more people watching my videos, because I want to get some of these strategies that might not be in the pure meta, that can be run in the meta, kind of out there, and kind of so the field kind of diversifies with things. And I plan on posting some strategies for some other games coming soon. I know I've been saying that, but I do plan on it. I have to go through a few things and get everything set up to be able to capture footage from those other games. But as soon as I get that done, I will most certainly be posting other strategy as well. And once again, thank you for watching. This has been an episode of Gaming Strategy. This is the Dracul signing out.